To the Temptations and the California Raisins, Scary Mystery Surprise issues our deepest apologies. Also, I will not be apologizing to Canada because sometimes you do say a boot. And I know someone on our comments said they don't, they say about. Weirdly enough, I know someone in Canada named Jillian, so I'm wondering if it's the same Jillian because there's clearly only one in Canada. And, look, Canadians think they're not saying a boot, but they are saying a boot. So I do not apologize for my statement.
This is where I have to come in and apologize for Michelle. So her views are not the same as do not represent Scary FM views. Oh man, I state my regret. That's a The Office joke in case anybody gets it. Welcome to Scary Mystery Surprise,
where we talk about scary things that surprised us around the internet.
I'm Edwin.
I'm Michelle.
So Michelle.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm afraid of?
School.
Yes. But like a more traditional afraid of?
I thought we went over this. Aliens?
No, but close. Witches. Brujas, more specifically, right? Like the kind that I've heard of because of my family.
Ooh, this is exciting.
Yeah, not like the cool, hipster, older neighbor girl who claims to be a Wiccan or no.
Who might also be Stevie Nicks. We don't know. She's dancing to Fleetwood Mac in her house and she's wearing black, but we don't know what kind of power she has.
Yeah, not that kind. More of the flying creatures that scare towns and torment families for years as they stare at you with their dead eyes from your window.
I don't know why that just gave me chills for some reason, but I did.
Yeah, and from the stories that I've heard, the kind that gets chased and even shot while they're flying. And then when they fall, they realize that it had morphed into a woman that everybody knows. Really weird. These are like actual tales. This is why it creeps me out. Because, for example, let's say you go out, you shoot a witch, like you shoot a flying creature, and it happens to be a witch.
You go out and you shoot a witch, just like a normal Tuesday.
And then she disappears, right? And then later on, the townspeople, they go searching door to door and they find that a woman has been injured from a bullet wound.
Oh.
And turns out that this woman has been suspected to be a witch. It's that kind of tale that it's very common, like to hear stuff like that. And it's usually small towns. So that's what I'm afraid of. There is a story that I was told on True Scary Story that it's for the Spanish version, Terror. They told me a story of like somebody who got kidnapped by a witch. And when he returned, he couldn't remember anything. And he kind of lost his mind. Like he was just late to respond. Something was off. He was just not himself anymore. It really creeped me out. And then I started looking into the witches of that small town that she mentioned. Turns out there's a lot of stories about witches in that town. And it's real. It scared the crap out of me. Here's a short little tale. It was 1960. The day, December 8th, in San Pedro, Tlaxcala, Mexico.
Planet Earth.
A woman had a newborn baby and was nursing her. Her husband fast asleep in the room. It was cold, so she wanted to go to sleep. But that's what you get for having babies. Just kidding.
Wow, anti-baby. That's political. Someone's gotten real saucy and political.
We have a lot of families that listen to this, a lot of moms. So I was just kidding.
Was he? Was he though?
Anyway, she put her down on her mat and she got into bed. But then, 3 hours later, she was awake and looking at her window. And just outside her window was a bright light. She tried to get up to see what was going on, but she couldn't move. She felt heavy, and suddenly she was asleep again. Less than an hour later, she woke up, and this time she saw a strange mist forming in the room. It got closer and closer to her, and then she fell asleep. Turns out, it's just that this woman, she just falls asleep, after
she have narcolepsy? What is this a story of narcolepsy? And then she was put on meds, and everybody lived happily ever after.
The sun came out, and she was shaken awake by her husband. And they both ran into her baby's room and found that she was not breathing. She was all scratched up and her skin was purple. Turns out that during the night, a Mexican bruja known as a Tlahuelpuchi, a shape-shifting witch, had sucked the baby's blood.
Ew.
Until it was gone.
All of it was gone? Like a raisin? The baby was like a raisin when they got in there?
That's what she must have looked like. Yeah.
That's why it was purple. It's the California raisins.
Anyway, the parents were obviously devastated. But then they found out that 7 other babies were also found dead on that cold morning of December 9th, 1960.
Oh, shit. All raisined?
They found 7 other raisins that night. I'm going to hell. I'm going to hell, Michelle.
You got to say it with your NPR. Yeah, that was perfectly done in your NPR voice. And they found 7 other raisin babies in their cribs, blood drained, wrinkled, singing, "I heard it through the grapevine."
They formed a band.
Wearing weird shoes that they hadn't been wearing when they went to bed that night.
This is messed up. This is why. This is messed up. This is just. They're babies, Michelle. Come on.
I hear you. I hear you. And we laugh to deal with tragedy. That's how you dispel sadness. Everyone. You make them the California raisins.
An anthropologist named Hugo Nutini happened to be there in that village of San Pedro in Tlaxcala in Mexico and the planet Earth when the Tlahuelpuchi killed those 8 babies. And he examined them that same morning. He was so dedicated, in fact, to finding out what had happened that he studied the cases for the next 10 years, along with other 47 Tlahuelpuchi attacks.
Wow.
He actually has a book. Yeah, it's called Epistemological Study of Anthropomorphic Supernaturalism in Rural Tlaxcala. Or you could just call it, like I do, ISOART.
Yeah, keep things simple, you know? Real catchy.
In the book, he wrote about what he believed actually killed the babies. And the truth was just as frightening, honestly. Given the circumstances, the mothers were essentially not letting the babies breathe in their attempt to cover them up on those cold nights. So the babies were believed to have died from suffocation.
Oh, that's bad.
That's kind of what he came up with. He also said that, like, if people in that town, in Tlaxcala, people believe in the Tlahuelpuchi, that they just assign, like, they just give that as a reason, like, oh, that's what happened and that's messed up. And they reinforce their own beliefs. That's what he said, right? But the challenge, like, to challenge his theory here is he doesn't explain the thing about the light or the mist. Something that is said to happen when a Tlahuelpuchi is approaching.
Wasn't their blood drained?
Yeah.
The baby's blood was drained? How did he explain that?
Supposedly their blood was not drained.
Oh.
So, the legend of this witch says that the Tlahuelpuchi is a shape-shifting witch that looks like any regular person, except for once a month, she removes her legs and arms.
Huh. Interesting. That was a twist I was not expecting.
I know, right?
And then does what? Because,
Well,
like, literally you can't do shit.
She takes off her limbs and she transforms into an animal, like a vulture or a turkey.
Don't knock the turkey. Benjamin Franklin wanted that to be America's national bird.
That's right.
They could have had the turkey instead of the bald eagle.
Oh, what a world. That would have been so different. It's just like a turkey.
I feel like it's one of those things where it's like we would have, like, a more peaceful existence if we'd gone with the turkey instead of the bald eagle. But
Yeah, that's true. But then it just wouldn't feel like America.
yeah, it definitely wouldn't be America.
Yeah.
It'd be America, like a turkey.
Anyway, so although the legend says she can transform into any animal, even to like a roach or a fly or a flea or whatever, but here's the thing. She needs to perform a ritual in order for it to happen. So, what is it? Capulin wood from a cherry tree, copo, tree resin, agave roots, and dry soapotle leaves. It's like a small yellow flowered shrub. Once she has the fire going and the ingredients ready, she walks over to the fire 3 times. First, from north to south, and then from east to west. And then she sits on the fire.
Like ass first, or like?
I guess so, yeah. It's just like blop.
How big is the fire?
I don't know. Like I'm assuming it's like a decent sized campfire. It has to be large enough for it to look powerful and evil.
Oh, I mean, like, can she put it out with her ass?
No, that's a good question. We should ask historians.
We're gonna get cursed. For some reason, I feel like this is the episode where we get cursed.
It was gonna happen. It was bound to happen. So, and that's when her limbs fall off and she shapeshifts. So she has to do that ritual.
Seems like a lot of effort.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know, to become a turkey. Why? You can't even fly. You just run around as a turkey.
Turkeys can't fly? Like at all?
No, I don't think. I think they can like jump. I think they can like fly up into trees and stuff, but I don't think they're taking to the skies.
Like chickens. She then puts her limbs in her home, and then
as
she
a
leaves.
Turkey.
Yeah, walking as a turkey now. So she's just like gobble, gobble, gobble,
carrying her limbs.
And then she's ready to hunt. So she needs blood to survive, right? That's the thing. So she goes after infants because they're easy prey, right?
Turkey's like infant size. It's not going to go after a man.
I'm just imagining like everybody just afraid of a turkey at night. It's just like,
I know. I mean, at least like with a skinwalker, you know, like they're like a coyote or a wolf is like threatening, and even a mean big dog is threatening. I don't know about an evil turkey.
Yeah, the night of the evil turkey. It just doesn't have that ring to it. Like it just
No, it would be weird to see a turkey. Don't get me wrong. It would be very weird to see a turkey just wandering around.
Well, yeah, it just depends on how you frame it, right? Because it's like, okay, imagine you hear a sound in the middle of the night and you're like, what is that? You just heard the story, but yeah, like imagine you open the window and you see the turkey. I was going to use it's tapping the window.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll use tapping like instead of like
scratching the dirt. And you open the window and it's there. But yeah, sure. It's just blah, 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 and yeah,
wait, what was the other animal it could turn into?
A chicken. It can turn into anything. A roach, a chicken. I mean, not a chicken. Well, any animal actually. So
well, let's pick a more threatening animal so it could be scary.
A vulture was the other one that I said.
Oh, okay, vulture. Well, you do vulture.
So she goes after the kids, right? And her specific victim is between newborn, from like 0 months, to 10 months old, but prefers to hunt on a very cold night, between midnight and 3 a.m. She flies in the shape of a cross. I don't know what that means. Above a house.
I like how you interrupted me before I could even question.
It's like, how do you fly in the shape of a cross? Is it like you go up and...
What species are we? A vulture still, or are we a turkey?
Yeah,
yet?
Let's just assume.
Okay.
Vulture.
We're a vulture. So I guess they would have to flap. Does it just hover? Maybe it is like a drone. I don't know. We'll never figure it out. Continue.
Okay. So she flies in the shape of a cross above the house where she wants to enter. Some say she comes into the houses through the smallest crevices, like cracks or keyholes, if she turns into a tick.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah, once she's inside, the room is filled with a paralyzing mist that paralyzes everyone, and then she feeds on her victim.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, that got... it's weird making it a tick made it way worse. Like, making it something that can just go between every crack actually made it scary.
Yeah. I should have said like a rat, and it's just like...
Turns into a rat. Puts her limbs in a box and runs around like a rat.
Flopping around like, I don't know why I'm so visual today. I'm just imagining it like she's rolling in with no
it's like, why'd you take your limbs off? This is probably the thing that would make the most sense, is having your limbs on for this, but okay.
Anyway, so they say that Tlahuelpuchi is born this way, but she doesn't know it. So yeah, you only find out until puberty.
Oh.
And yeah, there's no way to stop it. So once you're a Tlahuelpuchi, you're a Tlahuelpuchi for life, yo. That's your destiny.
That's kind of cool. I mean, like, honestly, it's like, what teenager doesn't want to be special like that and have supernatural powers? That's like, if there's not a teen drama of this already.
And the only way to know if a woman is a Tlahuelpuchi is to catch her in the act. because she keeps it a secret, obviously. Even her family, if they find out, they will keep it a secret. Because if she's found out, people are going to try to kill her, which is people are advised to do if you find one. I mean, it's either you kill her or more babies die. There are a few ways to protect yourself, though, and people have found that leaving scissors or safety pins underneath cribs seems to help. But I don't know, like, it just sounds dangerous, right? Like around a baby, scissors.
It is like similar to the Changeling episode where you're just supposed to put the clothing of your dad on the baby's crib and it'll just keep them away.
Yeah, they also suggest a mirror or a dirty diaper near someone's bed will ward her off because, well, I mean, it's a stinky diaper. Obviously,
it'll ward off everyone.
Just like onions and garlic, which are also on the list, apparently. Yeah, I believe to stop her. So that's about the Tlahuelpuchi. Like, that's the legend of that. But in recent times, witches, again, they creep me out, have been popping up all over social media. And there's this story that I want to share, which is like, it's my mom's story, where the town, she comes from a very, very small town. And they had this rumor that went around that I think I told you this story.
You might have.
Yeah, this woman would turn into a ball of fire. And one time they saw a ball of fire going like flying down the street, and it crashed into a tree. And the next day, the lady that was known as the witch was all beat up.
Oh.
Yeah, so they say that it was her. Really creeps me out. And Christina, when she was doing, she actually helps out with the research for Horror Story, found some TikToks, just a couple of them that I want to show you. So the story, first off, this one that I'm about to show you is the one that seems similar to the story that was shared on the Spanish version of True Scary Story, Terror Historias Reales.
Are you sending me the link?
Yeah, I sent you through iMessage. Do you have your phone?
Laptop.
No? Okay, hold on. I can send you through.
Yeah, just send it in the thing.
Yeah.
There it is.
Because Michelle doesn't want to. Her laptop is literally 2 feet behind her.
I just can't. I can't be bothered. I just cannot be bothered right now. Well, but I also see how that would be like flying like a cross, because it's like.
Oh.
Yeah, like the position is like a cross.
Okay, so you can see it, like the car's pulling up and they actually go around and they can still see it and it's just kind of floating there. That's the same image that gets thrown around where like they see this flying thing in the air and it's dark and it looks kind of like a trash bag. And so people say that it bounces around. Very, very creepy stuff.
There's that really old video that's famous that's like been on all the shows of the witch that looks like that.
Well, this one is it's not probably the Bruja de Monterrey, the Monterrey.
Yes, that's
witch.
it.
Yeah, no, that's a different one. I mean, that one's the ultimate one. So if you haven't seen it, please, I might just post a clip somewhere with it because it's creeped me out. But anyway, this one I just sent it to you, but because this one needs a little more detail, so you won't be able to see it. So this one is where they say that she turns into there's this ball of fire out in the hills. Now. You actually will have to see this on your phone or something because it's turning into 3 different balls of fire and then turning into one. And that area is known for rituals and witches. As you can see in the comments, like they start saying like, yeah, that area is known for witches. But it's not like an actual fire. It's not like spreading. It's turning into 3, coming back to 1. Like, could it be a fire dancer? Could it be something? Well, people believe that it's a ball of fire because they're known to do that. Witches do that.
Oh, weird.
But yeah, it's weird. It's intriguing. It's not definite proof. But when you hear a tale of a witch, when people say like, yeah, we saw her, this is what she looked like, this is what she did, this is where she came from, and it's somebody who's like respected in the community, it makes you think like, yeah, this might be real. And why aren't they, I don't know, I always wonder like, why aren't they like in cities and stuff? And because all of these stories happen in like rural areas. Well,
I mean, it's because in the city, nobody cares if you're a witch or weird. You could be in a clown suit walking around and nobody's going to care.
Very true.
Yeah. In any big city is generally you're going to be fine.
I don't know, Michelle. I actually believe that there might be flying witches out there somewhere. Unless they're just birds. I don't know.
I mean, there are witches. That's the thing. But you're not going to be disappointed. There are witches. Are they floating? I don't know. But there are witches that like do stuff like that. Like you're not gonna be disappointed in the fact that they don't exist because witches do exist.
Yeah, I don't know, but maybe for an upcoming episode we'll talk about La Lechuza, which is also a very famous flying, creepy creature, very creepy, and that's actually from Mexican folklore too. So we might talk about that later. But anyway, that's the story of Tlahuelpuchi. You learned that. Hopefully you can pronounce it by the end of it, since I said it like a billion times.
You did, but I don't think I can pronounce it. I still do. Tlahuelpuchi?
Tlahuel.
Lawel?
Tlahuel.
Like with a T? Tlahuelpuchi.
Puchi. There you go.
Tlahuelpuchi.
Ta-da.
Tlahuelpuchi.
There you go. It's Italian now.
It is Italian now. I think your fear of witches is valid.
I really do want to do a series on that somehow. Like, go dive in, interview people, and hopefully catch the ultimate video. And then spend the rest of my life
in fear,
saying that it was real. And in fear, I guess.
In fear of retaliation from the weird witch cults out there.
Oh, man. But anywho, so that's the story. What are we going to talk about next week, Michelle?
I don't know, but I think it'll be a surprise. Bye, guys.
Bye.